Welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. Coming up on today's episode, a bid rejected for Brentford striker Wissa, Forest interested in Ajax striker Brobbey, Bowler set to leave Nottingham Forest, and Gimenez set to go to Leverkusen. All this and plenty more coming up today on your latest Forest news. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. I hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. It's only been a few hours since our last video, but there's so much to bring to you guys and update you on, especially in regards to the striker situation. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And let me know in the comments down below, how many hours sleep did you get last night? I'm going to be very jealous. Very jealous. Okay, and don't forget, Football Prizes have their latest prize out now. It's a beauty. You can win this signed Forest home kit shirt, signed by the whole squad. But for me, the Insta prizes are the ones that have caught my eye. If you hit ticket number 100, ticket 225 or ticket 200, you will insta win the new kit. Save yourself at least 75 quid on those. Scan the QR code, or there should I say, or go and click the link that's pinned in the comments. Okay, let's jump into the news and let's talk about the latest Forest target, which is from the Premier League in Wissa. Wissa, the Brentford striker. I wouldn't call him a number 9er. He can play number 9, but I kind of associate him more on the wing. I don't need to go into here about his details too much. I'm sure most of you have seen him. I do actually rate him, but Ez really rates him. I just don't think he's the right profile that we're looking for. I still think he's more effective on the wing, but that's by and by. Forest, as we broke to you last night, and this is why I need you guys on our social medias. If you're on X or Twitter, make sure you're following. If you're on Instagram, make sure you're following. We'll try and keep you as quickly posted as we can on the YouTube videos, but we'll break all the news instantly on our social media. So they're all there. Go check them out. We told you last night that we're hearing that Forest were interested and had put a proposal together to Brentford of about £20 million for the attacker. Now, this then developed this morning into it being an official bid of £25 million. And about 30 seconds later, Brentford rejected the bid. Now, they can't really lose him. Their new striker replacement that they brought in to replace Tony is injured. Tony now is apparently agreeing to Saudi. And that would leave him with Wissa and Mbeumo, who both, to be honest, I think Mbeumo's better anyway, but that's a whole different debate. Like, let's focus on what Forest are doing here. So Brentford have rejected this. Now, they won't necessarily not sell him, in my opinion. I think they would rather keep him. But the reason that makes me think they would consider it is because Wolves are also interested in him. And if they could get a bit of a bidding war going on between Forest and Wolves, and it overinflates his valuation, then I think then they would consider it. But I don't actually see Forest and Wolves going over market value for this one. What I do see is a little bit of that stench coming back through from about 2 seasons ago, where Forest are just going through the yellow pages. And you can tell they're going alphabetically, innit? They've gone A, now they got to B. Oh, Brentford. Oh, look, B for Brazilians as well. C, who's next going to be on C? Chelsea. Is that the next club we're going to target? And it's starting to feel a bit like that. And in fact, it needs to slow down and calm down. Yes, there is a couple of days left in the transfer window, but Forest have to stick to the style they've done so far. Okay, they've been knocked back on Nketiah. They've been knocked back on Gimenez, and I'll give you the update on him in just a second. But there's still plenty to go after. But Wissa, for me, as much as I do rate him, I don't think he's the right profile we need. But you guys may disagree. Ez probably will definitely disagree. Get your thoughts in the comments down below. Okay, so let's talk about the next striker that's linked, and technically in the yellow pages this would have come under A. Or maybe B, because he's at Ajax and his name is Brobbey. Now, This is a player I am very interested in. I rate him very, very highly. He's quality. And this is a player that we told you about 4 or 5 weeks ago, that we heard that his agent was in Nottingham having talks. Don't know if it was directly about Brobbey or not, but that was the assumption we were making. Now, this was denied by, the people we talked to and what have you, but I got it on good authority. He was there. Now, there's a link coming out, and this is coming out from Pete from, I think it was 24/7 Insider, to say that Forest are now targeting him. They've put him on the shortlist. Spoken to him as well. He says that, I was like, how strong do you think this is? And he thinks this will depend on Ajax's appetite to sell. If he is up for sale, then there could be something that could happen here. However, he is going to be expensive. His market value is about £35 million, probably about 34, something like that. So he's going to come at a cost. Now, this isn't like miles out from what Forest have been bidding with the likes of Nketiah, with the likes of Gimenez, etc. You're talking about an extra 5 million. And at this stage of the window, man, just pay it. You put him on a 5-year contract. You're looking at the amortization on it, not really moving that much. It's an extra million a year, roughly speaking. Now, about the player himself, he's like this little dynamic powerhouse. I like him. He can hold the ball up. He's fast. He's good on both feet for me. He's got a real eye for a goal. I think he scored 18 goals last season for Ajax. Now remember, Ajax were crap last season as well. They've had their team dismantled by the likes of Erik ten Hag. The only negative to this one is Erik ten Hag does like him. So if you don't rate ten Hag, that might worry you a bit. I don't know. But still, with that aside, I really do rate him. And I think he would be almost the perfect fit for us. He would be my second first choice striker of the tier list that we had going on, because he can hold the ball up in the Nuno system. He can bring in the wingers in the Nuno system, and he has the pace to get in and make runs in behind, which would help Morgan Gibbs-White. So it's almost like putting a Gimenez and, an Nketiah together and taking their best bits for me into this player. So I can see it working, and I would be 100 million% behind Forest going for him. Now, what will happen if this does progress? You're going to get the same old conversations that people were having over Gimenez. It's the Dutch league, it's the Dutch league, it's the Dutch league. I'm getting sick of that conversation. Like, if every player played in the Premier League, like, would that satisfy what everyone wants? Does every player in the Premier League succeed even if they've played in the Premier League before? Of course not. Player is the player. The quality comes from the player. If they're good enough, they can cut it in the Premier League. But this guy, for me, is quality. And he's young. I think he's only 23 years old off the top of my head, something like that. So very, very ripe in the age, in the category that Forest are looking for. So Forest, go do this one. I know you've been talking to his agent. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so I promised you in the last video that I wouldn't talk about Gimenez. I'm going to break that promise, because the update is becoming clearer now what his motivations are, as Bayer Leverkusen are now in for him and he's interested in them. But they're not. Leverkusen aren't rushing this one. The reports coming out are saying that they're going to try and get him this summer. And if they can't, they'll wait till the winter window to get this one done. And he's up for that. Obviously, they'll have Champions League football after winning the Bundesliga last year. And they see him as a good fit, and he sees them as a good fit as well. So this to me was like he was using Forest as a smokescreen to get to Leverkusen. Whether or not it happens at the moment and right now, I don't really care. I'm done with Gimenez, man. He can go do one for as far as I'm concerned. However, Sky Sports are still reporting that Forest have not given up on this one. They are still there with the beggar bowl, pleading and praying for him to come and trying to convince him. I don't know if they've sent the big guns in yet in terms of Marinakis Senior. We know that he's spoken to Junior and he's spoken to Nuno a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know. Maybe Marinakis Senior decides, let me have a crack at him and I'll get him sorted. But for me, move on. Mukuku's now gone to Nice. He's having his medical today. So my dream is dead there. Now my focus would definitely be on Brian Brobbey, or Mr. Blobby, whatever you want to call him. So that's the update currently. The other one to tell you about is that Josh Bowler is set to leave Forest. They're looking to send him to Preston. Whether that's on a permanent or on loan, I don't know yet, but Preston are definitely interested in him. And that's probably a decent move for him because it'll be back in the Northwest near Blackpool. And they hate them, don't they? So let's see how that one sits with the likes of Lee Charles and the rest of the Blackpool fans. So we'll keep you posted on that one. But Forest are still looking to offload some players, likes of Bowler, as we just mentioned, the likes of Matt Turner, yes. And who's the other one? Dennis is looking to be moved on as well. They're all available for either a loan or a transfer fee. As soon as they happen, we will keep you posted. Right, that's your update for now. Something's probably broken, you know, if I check my phone. I don't want to. Let's keep the video at this length. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV. Have those alerts on. Go grab your tickets for the football prizes. And we will see you in the next video, probably in about 30 seconds. Come on, you Reds.